All right, we got a 5-movement circuit coming up, starting with the windmill. So take your weight, we're gonna hold it in one hand. It will be the lead foot as you're seeing him turning that left leg out. Right leg will be slightly behind and facing forward. And this is essentially a hinge or a deadlift movement, except we're kind of rotating and sitting back into the opposite hip of the weight we're holding, right? So my left hand is holding the resistance. I'm rotating, really trying to draw a nice straight line from the ceiling with my top hand down to the bottom hand and hinge back into that back right hip. Feel that kind of slight tension build in your hamstrings. You don't have to go all the way down as far as I'm going. Work within your range of motion. If you can, great. If it gets too tight just below the knee, stop right there, squeeze your glutes and come back up. So I like to inhale as I lower, sitting back into that back hip. Squeeze my glutes, exhale forcefully, and really brace my abs as I stand up, okay? Work on drawing that straight line, rotating through the torso, and sitting back into that back hip. It will take some practice. It might feel awkward at first, but you'll get the hang of it. I would go for somewhere between 8 to 10 reps on each side here. All right, working into exercise number 2, we're gonna sit back into a solid hinge position, and I'll show you 2 different angles here like I did before. We're gonna perform our row exercise. So inhaling as you lower, exhaling forcefully as you pull, using that exhale to engage your abs the best that you can. I like to keep my head facing forward or downward. That way I can keep my head through my spine down into my tailbone all on one plane, okay? Should feel pretty comfortable that way. Here's the side angle. You can kind of see that nice smooth plane from my head through all the way down through into my tailbone. Inhaling as I lower, exhaling as I forcefully exhale and pull upward and squeezing in between my shoulder blades at the top. You should feel your glutes engaged, really kind of keep your weight midfoot to heel and really focus on getting that big squeeze at the end of that pull. All right, exercise number 3. We're gonna work on a front shoulder raise. I'm gonna show you from a full kneeling position. I think it's the most challenging. This way it really engages your abs. If you need to, you can go into a standing position or seated. Either one of those will work as well. So inhale as you lower, exhale as you raise, or if you need some extra help, inhale in between reps, exhale all the way through the entire rep, inhale again in between reps. You're really using that exhale to keep your abs engaged. Don't forget here as well, glutes should stay squeezed the entire time, and you may want to use a mat underneath your knees if you feel extra pressure on your knee if you're on the floor. So glutes and abs on that one for sure. Exercise number 4, we're gonna work our way into a wall sit. I'm gonna show using resistance. You can use as much or as little as you need here. Really just focus on challenging yourself while still being able to maintain the position and technique. So I'm gonna sit down into kind of 90 degrees of the knee, 90 degrees of the hip. So make sure you stand far enough away from the wall to get into that position. Shoulders back, neck relaxed, but squeezing in between my shoulder blades to really engage my torso. Focus here on breathing smoothly, and with each exhale, as you smoothly exhale out, really use that exhale to engage your abs even further. Drive your knees out to get more glutes. If you feel like your quads are taking too much of the effort, knees out to get glutes working, and making sure your weight is distributed from midfoot to heel, not too much on your toe. If you go too much toe, you might feel it a lot in your knees and kneecaps and too much in your quad. So shoot for 30 to 40 seconds there, relaxing into that position, squeeze your glutes, keep your abs engaged. All right, last one of this circuit. We're gonna do a plank, and I'll show you from 2 different positions. We'll shoot for maybe 30, 35 seconds here again. But we're gonna go from your elbows, rotating through the torso, just like you've done that windmill, into that nice position where you're drawing a straight line from the top hand down to the end of the elbow. Now make sure you squeeze your glutes in between each of those right there. Glute squeeze, exhale, rotate open, inhale down, glute squeezed, exhale, rotate open, using that exhale to really keep your abs engaged. Now I'll show you from this position as well, making sure your glutes are squeezed as you're straight out. And I like to use, as you notice, a wide stance with my feet. That will allow me to rotate around my spine and not putting too much pressure or tension in that lower lumbar area as you rotate. Let your hips rotate, let them glide, and making sure you're still breathing as you work through this exercise, okay? 30, 35 seconds. If you can go more, go more. All right, go through a second or a third time, and good luck and have fun.